It's slow. It's ugly. And it sounds terrible. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Speed Culture Studios and welcome back to another episode of Rental Car Reviews. Today I'm in a 2023 Nissan Rogue. We got 2,800 miles on this bad boy and I got a few opinions. Steering wheel, gauge cluster, center console, infotainment system. I actually don't mind the looks of it. Not too bad at all. And I don't mind the feel of the steering wheel, and the car feels actually pretty tight. The dash is decent. It looks modern and sleek. You know, no real complaints in terms of the cockpit, except for when it comes to the upholstery. The door panels look like they have denim inserts, and that is just weird. Aside from being ugly, the seats are relatively comfortable. I can't complain about that. I've put a lot of miles on this car over the last couple of days, and my back and my butt doesn't feel too bad. Can't complain there. And plenty of cargo space in the rear area and lots of legroom for rear passengers as well as the front passenger. Let's talk performance a little bit. It says that the Nissan Rogue has the CVT, the continuously variable transmission. However, there is paddle shifters, and as you accelerate, the car seems to shift, but it doesn't feel like a normal automatic transmission shift. It does almost seem fake. So I don't know. It had me a little bit confused at first because I took off in this car and I thought, wait a second here. This is supposed to have a CVT, but it's shifting. It feels like a normal car, but it almost feels a little bit weird. So I had to look it up, and sure enough, it says it's a CVT transmission. So I'm not sure if it's got a, I can't remember the name. I don't know. I'd have to look up the details and what the specifics are about this transmission. I just really don't care enough to know. I don't know if the camera can pick it up or not, but there's like a little flutter, a little bit of a whine. At first I thought, that sounds really strange. It doesn't sound right. Is the wheel bearing going out? Does the transmission have a little whine to it? Or, you know, what's happening here? But come to find out, doing a little bit of research, and it turns out I don't know anything about the Nissan Rogue. They have a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbo. So that's where the noise is coming from. You get factory turbo noises in the Rogue. Now that I know what it's coming from, I actually like it. Can you hear it? It just kind of winds up. Whoa, wee, whoa. King of the castle, king of the castle. Pretty nice, clean little engine bay, actually. Just wish we could get a little bit more power out of it. It's pretty nimble, and it does handle pretty nicely around these curvy roads. It's a small SUV, so you gotta have reasonable expectations. It's not a canyon car, for crying out loud, but for the elevation changes here in this part of California and some of these sort of twisty switchback-esque roads, it does quite well. So although that CVT transmission is a little bit weird to get used to, it's a little bit fake or something to me. I don't know. I just don't like it. And I wish we had a little bit more power. I think if we were at like 250 horsepower and 275 to 300 foot-pounds of torque, I think this would be a real fun little SUV. I can't imagine all that much more torque in this thing because there's already a little bit of torque steer. So I don't know how it would handle 300 horsepower. But I think being in that 250 range would be really, really great. With that said, I can't complain about its lack of power all that much because we're getting 38 miles to the gallon in this thing, and I've beat the hell out of it. Look at the views around here. Golly. Ooh, a little bit of torque steer, little torque steer. All right, I admit it. The more I drove this Nissan Rogue, the more I started to like it. I've never been a big fan of how the Rogues looked, but I gotta say these newer models are much nicer than the first generation. I would say if it had leather interior, a 9-speed automatic transmission, and about 50 more horsepower, I'd be all on board for the Rogue. But if you're looking for a snappy little SUV that you can haul the family around in, it's probably a decent choice. I just really can't get used to that CVT transmission, though. It's really weird. It just seems like it's playing pretend. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of rental car reviews. Check out my channel for more rental car review videos. I enjoy making them. I hope you guys enjoy watching them. Thank you very much for the support. More stuff coming for the channel. We'll see you in the next one.